Oh, hi, welcome to our camera shop. Hi, I'm looking for a camera, something which gives the grainy vintage effect. I've just the right one for you. This 2000s camera, it doesn't work properly, its flashlight is poor, and it eats batteries like popcorns. That will be 40,000. 40,000? That's more than the price of an original camera. Yeah, but that's the price of the nostalgia. Here. I'll give it to you right up.
Non scrivere. Non ti fare fottere dalla nostalgia. Dimenticaci tutti. Se non resisti e torni indietro, non venirmi a trovare. Non ti faccio entrare a casa mia.
Have you noticed that these days you have started to miss and think about old times a lot? The times when things used to be simpler. I'm saying simpler in quotes because this is the thing we are going to talk about in today's video. Before diving in, let's first define what is nostalgia. It is basically defined as a sentimental longing or wistful affection for a period in the past. Nostalgia used to be this amazing feeling, but now it is commercialized. It is sold to you in forms of products, TV shows, and everything and anything you can imagine it as. You can look around for yourself and see. The examples are endless. Take Stranger Things for example. It's a letter to 80s for which most of its fans weren't even alive for. Y2K aesthetics are everywhere, from Pinterest to YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. You just search it and you will find endless options, endless inspirations, and endless resources. McDonald's literally released Happy Meals for adults in 2022, which included toys which were nostalgic to the 2000s. It was sold out in a few days. Nostalgia isn't passive anymore. It's curated, packaged, and monetized, and we all are eating it up. But this begs us the question why we keep looking back. The future? It's terrifying. Climate change, burnout culture, student debt, AI slowly replacing us. So we cling to the past, something that we have known, something we have lived. Because the feeling of familiarity is much more comfortable than the feeling of uncertainty. Nostalgia gives us a sense of control. You know how things were, you know how things happened. A reboot of a show you used to like? Here, we will give you that. Why? Because you know about all the characters, all the things that happen in the plot, and how the story is going to end. A playlist of 2000 hits? Instant dopamine. This makes a psychological sense. A 2012 study from the University of Southampton found that nostalgia increases self esteem and social connectedness, giving people a stronger sense of meaning in life.
Do you ever wish you could go back to your childhood again?
No, Lacey, because I'm a serious grown-up.
You are not a grown-up.
You're right, I dream about it every day.
I actually really liked watching those old movies as a kid, and I realize now that they were so bad, but I still love them so much.
I feel like Home Alone holds up.
It does, that's
Yeah.
true, that's a good one. The scientist in me really has to ask though, like what's up with the nostalgia business?
Well, researchers have defined nostalgia as a complex emotion that is triggered by familiar sounds, smells, keepsakes, or connecting with loved ones, or by feeling lonely.
It causes you to think fondly about the good old days, wishing that you could revisit them. Researchers at the University of Southampton in England found that most people's nostalgic memories include seeing themselves surrounded by loved ones, and that's sort of sad in its own way.
But it's also happy. Nostalgia calms us down and comforts us. It can even make us physically warmer. The researchers found that participants that were filled with nostalgia felt warmer in a cold room than those who didn't.
Which is totally awesome and convenient because the researchers also found that nostalgia itself is more likely to kick in on cold days. Oh, you forgot your scarf? No worries. Have a little throwback with some heartwarming memories.
Nostalgia has another important benefit too, relieving loneliness. When people are nostalgating,
Is that a word?
yeah, I just said it, so now it's a word. Nostalgating relieves loneliness by helping us to feel a sense of belonging and sociality with others. It makes us all just a little bit nicer.
But here's the catch: the more we romanticize the past, the more we are detaching ourselves from the present. Since on social media there's always been a lot of competition, debate, comparison between millennials and Gen Z, let's talk about how nostalgia is for them. For millennials, they are the ones who have lived the time that people are talking about these days. They have lived the simpler childhood, the easier times. So now the millennials who are actually living as an adult in the adult world, facing all the different problems like house rent, employment, debts, and all the things, all the crazy hard things you can imagine. They want to go back to the time when things was so much more easier for them, when they had no worry in the world, they just had to go and watch their favorite TV show. For Gen Z, it's basically an aesthetic. Most of the Gen Z haven't lived in the 2000s that people are so much talking about these days. The 2000s for them is a filter, a vibe, an aesthetic. You know, all the TikTok edits that you see, the VHS filter, everything for Gen Z is an aesthetic. And this is exactly what happens when memory becomes content. Past becomes costume, a vibe, a filter. And this is where it actually gets dangerous. Nostalgia kills creativity. Because why are you going to try to do something new when you know an old formula already works? Think about Mean Girls. We can get a Mean Girl 3. Because why risk making something new when you can reboot the old shows for the nth time? Hollywood knows this. So does the fashion industry. And so does the algorithm. 2023 USC study found that more than 75% of top grossing box office films were remakes, sequels, or part of existing franchises. We are stuck in a loop now: reboots, remakes, remixes. The result? The culture isn't pushing forward, it's eating itself. And it leads to an entire generation believing that nothing is ever going to be as good as it used to be, even if that used to be wasn't good at all to begin with. Obviously, the 2020s, the golden age of chronic anxiety and glitchy Zoom calls. But nostalgia, it makes even dumpster fires look like bonfires with s'mores. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, they thrive on nostalgia. A 2021 study from the University of Warwick found that social media platforms amplify nostalgic content because it generates higher engagement. It's familiar, emotional, and shareable. It's not just a memory, it's performance. I'm pretty sure you have seen people posting those grainy photos on their Instagram and captioning it as "I wish they go back." They're 19. What do they want to go back to? Where do they want to go back to? They're basically manufacturing memories in real time and then mourning them too. Here's where the gaslighting kicks in. You are constantly told that you had it better, when in reality it was still chaos. You just didn't have Twitter. The 2000s, homophobia and racism were broadcast as comedy. Diet culture was unhinged. The economy was already cracking. But nostalgia puts a light, bright, glowy filter on all the things that weren't right in that era. It tells you your childhood was pure, that the music was real and people were good. And it tricks you into believing that the present sucks because of you, not because the system is broken. Nostalgia isn't evil, but it's not innocent either. So, how do we hold it without it holding us back? Acknowledge the past without romanticizing it. Revisit what mattered, don't rewrite it. Make peace with imperfection and still create something new. The future isn't meaningless, it's just harder to see, and you will never be able to look at it if you're always looking behind.